By the way, we had a winner on Put Up or Shut Up Rock and Roll Trivia. Today, an ungettable question in the third hour today. I think I'm right in calling it ungettable. I debated. Biggie could look at it. Number 10 is ungettable. And he and I know it. And I do. I think.
Is it a multi-part or just a single answer?
It's a two-part question. It's two answers. And don't you agree?
I can see where that, to me, is ungettable. He might dance around it.
Yeah, Chris Tim could surprise me. I mean, it's a tough question. It has two answers.
He might get one.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I mean, I guess you can name either one.
No. I made it both.
Oh, did you? Okay.
See, at first I said name. It's two. It's like two songs have done this. At first I had it name either one. Then I said, let's make this ungettable. And you have to name both.
I like that. Then I don't think he'll get it.
I don't either. But I think if he does, I'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm. But with him, you just never know.
You
Nothing
never know.
surprises.
He's so good. Now, I lost on Friday.
Yeah.
5-3 was the final. For the first time, we had a guitar riding on it signed by Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish. And our friend Mark the Shark from Blue Shark Vodka gave it to us and said, okay, when next time Chris Kelly loses on Friday, this guitar goes to the winner. And I was keyed up. I was nervous.
Yeah, he was texting me. Mark the Shark was. Mm-hmm. He's texting me before that. Here we go. Let's do this first week. Let's see. Yeah. And at the very end, after he lost, he just sent me a simple text that said, "And there goes the guitar."
That's it. It's gone.
That was it.
We had it. It wasn't
over.
I got to go sleep in front of Darius Rucker's house again.
Yep.
You don't want to know what I had to do to get the first guitar.
Now the Ann and Nancy Wilson guitar.
Yep, that's safe.
Which is up for grabs Monday through Thursday.
Every day.
Mm-hmm. We've had the next winner.
That thing's been in storage for 6 months. But this Darius Rucker was hot off the presses. I lost it. And I think it was my nerves. I knew it was the first time. I totally screwed up an a Bangles question I should have gotten.
This sounds terrible, but we should have found a way to put the guitar as a prize, but not told
without telling me. Of course.
Because then you would have never thought about it. You just played like normal.
Well, if it is any consolation, the listener, the P1 who beat you, Rodney, said that he was very happy. He was overjoyed that he hit you up. Friday, he put it all over Twitter. This morning, just moments ago, we got an email saying, I did not know this, but my kids are gigantic Darius Rucker fans. He said, I'm a hero now, and I have you guys to thank.
Well, I'm really glad that they got it. That's awesome that they won. I still am upset with my performance. And
that's understandable.
I'll tell you this. Listen to this. A guy emailed, you may have seen it, a P1 said that last week's shows were that's the best week we've ever had. He's like, this is the best week of shows you have ever had, which I didn't realize that as it was going on. That was his opinion. And then he said, here's why it was so good. And he started listing what each member of this program's contribution was. And he said, Biggie was so funny and so timely, and he told jokes that made me pull the car over. I was laughing so hard.
That's what he does.
It was Biggie, okay? Then it was Chris Dim. Chris Dim's impressions were spot on. He did
always are
a Keir Simmons and a Miguel Almaguer.
Now you have to know who that is.
A Keir Simmons and a Miguel Almaguer back to back that made me pull off the side of the road. He said something. He said, Dave was spot on with some observations about topical issues.
And I believe 70 to 80-year-old references.
Yes.
Always is.
He said, and his 70 to 80-year-old references
always is.
Were, bar none,
For instance, that's what Hopalong Cassidy used to say. What? Remember Darla from Little Rascals? Hello.
This is just like an episode of Gunsmoke I watched with my father.
That's Dave. That's his gift.
So I was reading that, and I was getting all puffed up, and I was like, oh, my God. And I couldn't wait to hear what he said about me because he'd roll Biggie, Chris Dip, Dave. Never better. Never better. And then he said, and Chris Kelly, your disastrous loss on Put Up or Shut Up. So what I did.
Made my week.
What I did to add to that was be dumb. Be stupid.
What?
And I just read that like, this is what I did. Lost.
You flamed out like an Elon Musk rocket.
Right. And Dave said I smelled like sour pickles. He came over to my seat.
That was very rude.
Yeah.
I was working in here. On Friday, and I was sweating heavily.
You hadn't showered?
And not showered. Did a bird bath only.
And Dave just out of nowhere, why does it smell like pickles over here? He was that kid in class.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you forgot to put on deodorant. Like, you know you smell, and you're trying to, like, hide it from everybody, and finally somebody walks by and is like, who stinks? And you're like, oh, no.
They found out.
That's Dave.
I know.
Why does it smell like pickles over here?
You don't have to. say it like that.
And you could have just said it smells odd over here. You didn't have to give it a item.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but I think my follow-up would have been, what does it smell like?
But he could have said it when I was, he could have said it after the show. When I left, he could have said, did you guys know that Chris Kelly smelled like pickles today?
Yeah.
At least I wouldn't know.
You didn't have to announce it.
No. I neglected a shower. I was playing pickleball the night before, tennis the night before, didn't shower. And, it was troubling, obviously. And when he said it, I was like, all right.
Well, let me ask you this about personal grooming habits.
Yeah.
Let's say, because we've all done it. Sometimes, you take a shower at night.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a shower at night, on a work night,
Yeah.
and have to work the next day, Kelly, do you apply deodorant the night before, or do you go to sleep with bare arms and then wake up and apply your deodorant?
I go to sleep with bare arms because I feel like the deodorant will, overnight, will make my pits too sensitive. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want it on the sheeting and the bed,
I don't
bed
either.
clothing.
I go
get
bare
that.
arm.
I do too.
Yeah.
And then
I would bare arm. And then, but did you apply deodorant that morning?
I did. But see that, to me, it leaves a funk. It doesn't do its job. It's like you're trying to cover.
You're putting new
Odor.
deodorant on old deodorant.
But you didn't move.
No, I didn't. You're right. So I did do that. But all day on Friday, I felt in a funk because I didn't shower. And I'd been up really late the night before. I know I'd watched the basketball game the night before. That's what I was up till like 11
Yeah.
o'clock.
With your son.
Yeah, and I was like, it was a huge mistake. And Dave then brought it home by saying I smelled like old dill pickles. It was awful. One time I went to a party.
You smell.
And I went to a party. I was probably 25 or 26 years old, on the prowl, for a young woman.
All right.
And my friend April, I walked into the party and she said, "Oh, honey, your nose hairs," right in front of everybody.
See?
You don't have to
That's
do that.
again.
You don't have to do that. She's like, "You need
You
to
don't
trim
have to do that.
trim your nose hairs." And I was just like, looking around like,
She stopped the party.
Yeah,
Who has a nose hair trimmer?
that's my
You didn't have to do that.
You don't have
Come
to
on,
do-
April.
You don't
Come
have
on.
to-
You're coming with me to the ladies' room. What?
Quietly, she could have pulled you aside and
Yes.
said,
Yes.
"Let me try to help you here. You
Yeah.
have some nose hairs hanging
You
out.
got a nose hair
yeah,
issue.
you need to trim."
The worst ever was when I had that pubic hair on my shirt.
Yeah.
Chris didn't witness that.
Oh, opening day. Water Park, Memorial Day weekend.
What year? 03?
01? 02?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 03.
A guy who had been on Survivor, Jeff Varner, pretty big star,
He was a TV anchor at the time.
TV anchor, and we were there to open the water park for the season, where I was wearing the whitest of white shirts.
Our general manager was there. Our general sales manager was there.
right.
And I think like the regional head
Yeah.
of the water park was there.
Wet and Wild, and it was the first day. Place was packed, and we were, there to say kick off summer. Great thing. I think they'd added a new ride. That's
Yeah,
why
that's
they had
right.
it out. Huge. And this guy Jeff Varner, who was a news anchor and had been on the show Survivor, pretty well known at the time, came up to me and I was shaking hands. Oh, I was cocking the walk. I was shaking everybody's hand.
All the VIPs.
Everybody's there.
Have fun on the corkscrew.
Yeah, ribbon cutting, all that. And he came up and he goes, "Dude, you have got a huge pube on your shirt." And I was like, ha. He's like, "No, seriously, you have got a curly pube right there on your chest."
Did you think for an instant he was doing the look down so he could
Yeah, I did.
hit you in the nose
Well,
with his
I was hoping.
finger?
I was hoping, and so I looked down at it, and there it sat.
Hey,
We all saw it at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Everything just sort of, you know how
yeah.
Awful,
everything just kind of gets quiet.
awful moment. I mean, as bad as it gets. And then Chris Dim says to Jeff Varner, and to me this loosened everything up because it was just like, and all the dignitaries are just staring at it. There's a
Pube on shirt. Pube on shirt.
I mean, and shirt is as white as it can be, pube is as black as it can be, and there's just no getting around
No.
it. Right next to the Chris logo, and there it is. And Chris Dim says, "I'm glad you pointed that out. That could have been embarrassing," which made everybody laugh.
All-time great line.
That made everybody laugh. But even still, they started calling me like pube. They'd be like, "Pube, come to the front counter. Pube, you're needed in the parking lot.
Shirt pube to the zipper.
Shirt pube to the sand volleyball pit." Terrible. One of the worst times.
Oh, yeah.
But Dave's pickle comment on Friday
Right up there?
ranks up there. Maybe number 3 past the nose hair comment.